Hi, I'm Josey Bouchard, and I'm running for warden. I'm a teacher by trade, but been an activist with Pontiac Voice, also sitting on council in Campbell's Bay. And for me, was the next logical step to run for warden. I feel that we need some changes, and that's why I put my name in. So yeah, I came here because first of all, it's a beautiful site, but I think it represents the way the Pontiac has sort of changed over what was the Pontiac before, the Pontiac now, and what it could be in the future. So before we were mostly wood industry. We saw the beautiful old log slide there, but then when you turn around, you see now you see the Via Ferrata, you see the slides from tree to tree. So I think it shows how we can renew ourselves. When one industry dies, there is a hope and there is a way to be better at what we do. I'm running because I feel I have a vision for tomorrow's Pontiac. The Pontiac right now is at a crossroad. Like we do have few little industries, but we need to do a better inventory of all that we have and how we can help support those industries and go up one level from all of that. So I think that's one of the main reasons. I think we need also to have a strong voice. I mean, the Outaouais has always struggled to have a strong voice in Quebec City, and the more of us there are sort of stomping our feet and making our issues known, I think it will help. I see the role in twofold. One is being representative, in the Outaouais and in Quebec City to make sure that our issues are brought forward and that we try to get resolve of those situations. And the other role is really getting all the mayors to work together and to make sure that we commit to different intermunicipal agreement because the taxpayer deserves to have all the services that they need at a reasonable cost. We do know we are not like 10 million people here, so we do need to share our services. So that's why in organizing services and municipalities helping each other, hopefully we will, alleviate that sort of, no, I want, I'm pulling the blanket on my side, no, I want it on my side. I think, the next issue is going to be the arena. I know some people say, oh, you haven't said anything about the arena, but it is going to be an issue. We have to realize that for under 15,000 people, we have 3 arenas. And they're all, well used, well loved, but they could use a lot of love. And that being said, where is the best spot for one arena? I think the fact that I'm fully bilingual, and I would even go so far as to say I'm bicultural. I did my bachelor's at Bishop, so the mindset of francophone versus anglophone, there are differences. I mean, let's not hide, So there are differences, and there are different ways of presenting things. I think being an advocate and a spokesperson for Pontiac Voice. We got our issues heard. We had journalists coming up and inquiring all the time, whatever was happening. So in that sense, I think, I have a credibility and we can get what we need to get heard our message across through the media, which is an essential component nowadays, and in both languages. Also, I've been a principal, I've been a vice principal, I've been dealing with a lot of people, a lot of adults. I've been a conseillère pédagogique. So I've worked in all different kind of sector in the education. And I think a big part of that is assuming leadership with people and getting them to understand why we need to do certain change and where we're heading with all of that. Pour moi, je pense que l'an 1, ça va être de vraiment s'asseoir et de faire une très bonne analyse de la situation actuelle et de prendre des décisions que les gens apprécieront peut-être moins, vont peut-être être surpris ou vont peut-être être contents. Je pense que d'avoir beaucoup plus d'entente intermunicipale, ça va être un incontournable. De s'assurer que les gens qui sont très bons, par exemple, à faire des demandes de subventions pour les infrastructures, deviennent un petit peu des gens, nos aidants naturels pour l'ensemble des municipalités. On a de très petites municipalités, parfois avec du personnel à temps partiel, et les demandes et les redditions de comptes qu'on va en faire sont immenses. Fait qu'il faut s'assurer que tout le monde aide tout le monde. Fait que dans des secteurs, c'est sûr que idéalement, moi, dans mon rêve, idéalement, c'est qu'en 2 ans, première année, deuxième année, on ait regroupé ce qui était regroupable en termes de services. Pas en termes de municipalité, pas de faire des conseils municipaux, pas démancher toute la structure. Les conseils fonctionnent, les maires sont là, il n'y a pas de souci. Mais je pense que pour certains services, il faut vraiment qu'on s'organise pour être plus efficace, être mieux, puis avoir les meilleures personnes aux meilleurs endroits. Si on peut faire ça, une bonne analyse la première année, puis se mettre en action la deuxième année, je pense que ça va déjà être un grand pas en avant pour l'ensemble de nos municipalités. We need to help small companies to be a bit bigger so they can hire a bit more people, so we can start having more people coming back into the Pontiac and getting new blood influx in the Pontiac. Large industries will not come back in most places in Quebec. Like the economic, we're fighting right now against Brazil. We're fighting against, countries where trees go twice as fast as here. And people are paid like 1/10 of what people used to have. So we have to create small industries. Again, to move forward, we need to know where we stand right now. What are the industries that we have? What are their strengths? How can we help them be stronger? And what else could come of those industries? Like I was saying, in Beauce, they have those, I don't know what the English equivalent would be, but grappe industrielle. So if you have, a small industry that's building kitchen cupboards and stuff like that, what could feed it? Or what this industry can it feeds another industry? So to try to see how we can intertwine the different components that we have, and they stay alive because they are interdependent. And that's the sort of industries that we have to organize here. So even if one has problems, you might lose 5-10 jobs. You're not going to lose 600 jobs like when Smurfit Stone closed up, or when a big mill with 50, 75 people closes up. So that way there's less impact. And we have to move away from natural resources because the international market is so up and down. It doesn't guarantee much of anything. So we just have to make sure that we grow in industries that will remain and are viable for, 20, 25, 30 years from now. For me, it is a preoccupation that people don't assume that I will give preferential treatment to Campbell's Bay because I'm from Campbell's Bay. For me, we need to look at the region as a whole. We need to look at the region in terms of this region as this strength, and this is what we're going to develop. That region has that strength, and this is what we're going to develop. So each area has their strength, and that's what we need to consolidate. Not a little bit here, a little bit there, and, sort of spreading the joy kind of thing, which in a way doesn't help development, because giving $2,000 to an organization, how much will that help? Maybe that company or that activity needs 20,000 to thrive and become better. So for me, it's a non-issue. I don't, I love my community. I love Campbell's Bay, and I lived in Bryson for 20 years. So I'm not going to favor Bryson either. I'm not going to favor anyone. We need to. When I said, I want to base my decision on data, what's the strength of that community? What does it bring to the Pontiac? How can we better that? That's what we need to do. Why would you vote for Josey Bouchard? You vote for Josey Bouchard because she wants to get the job done, and she wants the Pontiac to be better, and that people are heard, and that we take into consideration everyone in the Pontiac. That's why you want to vote for Josey. She'll be there for you, and she'll have your back.